So what is up, guys? You got your boy Jet Stingren here today, and today we're back with some Aether Gazer, and today we're going to go over the maintenance notes for the game of Aether Gazer. Now we are going to be using both global and Japan's maintenance notes because Japan actually includes some things that is not listed on the global side. For some reason, global just doesn't have these on file. They're just not there. Like, it's not a part of the maintenance notes, but we are going to be getting these same things because global and JP are synced together. Their servers released at the same time, so that is that. The only thing that's different is JP's gonna get it like a day earlier because of time zone, but that's it. That's really the only thing. But anyway, let's get started. Let's talk about this information here. So first things first, we will be using the global one just because it's a little bit easier to read along with me. But of course, let's go over the events. The events right here. Part 1 is going to start October 10th. Part 2 is going to start October 24th, which will be the Oceanus one. And if you want to know about the Oceanus overview, it will be coming soon. It will be coming around close to when his banner will be releasing. So if you guys want to see that, make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe, please. Anyway. So, first things first, we're going to have a limited sign-in. We're going to come back to this one because JP actually does list what we're getting for the sign-in. So, we'll come back to that when we get down to the costumes. But anyway, there's that. So we're going to be getting chapter 11 of the main story. As you guys know, if you've already done chapter 10, you can just simply start doing this chapter immediately. If you have not unlocked up to chapter 10 yet, you would just simply have to unlock it doing the normal way, which means you have to go through all the other chapters 1 to 9, then do 10, then of course now you can do 11. That's essentially what that is. And it's basically saying for the limited time you can just do chapter 11, and there it is. But the thing is, the only really difference that it is that you get to do chapter 11 immediately. That's the only thing. Like you only, but if you want to do the hard mode stages, then you have to do chapter 10 hard mode first. So I just recommend you just kind of just go through the story as a normal way. Just go through chapters 1 to 10 and just get to 11. I mean, this is permanent content, so you don't really need to do anything different, so to speak. So yeah, you're totally fine if you don't want to have to feel like you have to bum rush the story. Anyway, so of course when the event ends, you will have to do the story the normal way as I just mentioned, and this is going to be a new type of little mini event that comes with the Athena patch. It's going to be called Elemental Pertitis. I'm not sure if I'm saying that correctly, or Pertitis. I'm not sure if I'm saying it right, but basically it's going to be 4 stages that you can effectively do, and you get a bonus based off a certain type of units that you use, so based on element. If we go over to the JP side really quick, we can see here that they do mention it here. It mentions it by physical, light, water, and ice. So basically take whatever units you have that can fit this description to make it a little bit easier for you. Physical, we have a lot of good physical units. We have Bizimo, who's an A rank that you can easily build off of, especially if you are a spender, because you should get her to SSS for free. We have light units. We have really good light supports like Heimdall and Hera. But in terms of light DPSs, maybe the A rank Bizimo might work. Maybe Zinky Rat might help. Tier Apollo, maybe. I would probably just go 2 lights and a dark. Maybe I'll probably go Hell and Zinky Brat for this light stage. If it has to be that you have to use an element, then probably that would be the right one. Water damage, we got S Poseidon, which S Levi, my bad. S Levi could potentially do this, and in ice we have a lot of good ice units. You have Scotty, Vidar. So I mean, it's not too many hard options you can really throw in here. Like I don't expect this to be super difficult. I expect this to be kind of just like a more chill, just farm experience where you don't have to do a lot. So there's that. Next up is the mirror part. This is going to unlock the first week of the event. So after this initial week, the next week after, this is going to unlock where you have to fight mirrored versions of past characters. And if we go over down to the JP side, we can see exactly who we're fighting. We're fighting Sobek, Bizimbo Tengu, we're going to be fighting Vidar. I don't know who Old Oaf Beldandy is. I assume this is Heimdall. I'm not sure. I'm really not sure who Old Oaf is. So there's that. We're going to be fighting Hela, Hermes, Osiris, and then we're going to be fighting Hades, Osiris. This is obviously a weird translation. I assume they think, I think it means living soul Osiris, like the evil version, I guess, Osir, so to speak. So Maybe I assume that's what that means, or it could just be both Hades and Osiris. This translation doesn't really make it clear. It doesn't, because it's just a rough translation based off Google Translate. So there's that. Next up is Matrix Crusade Divine Warrior. This is going to be the guild event, and this is actually going to be releasing alongside the CN version. If you guys don't know, the CN version, which is of course a year or so ahead of us, is going to release in the same event at the same time, but there's a caveat with CN's version. CN already did an event similar to this, and it was actually a competitive event. It was an event that you actually wanted to try hard on, and to my knowledge of what a few people I've talked to about the CN side that I know who play the CN game, they did not like this. They did not like the fact that it was a competitive based event in a normalized uncompetitive game. Like, let's be real, a lot of everything that involves like guild or anything of like leaderboard status in Aether Gazer does not really warrant any sort of extra effort. It doesn't. It just doesn't. Like, if you get number 1 on DV, which I've known a few people, like my friend Wise for example, you don't really get anything out of it. You just get the flex points. That's just it. It's just a flex. It's like, oh, I got number 1 on DV. That's cool. But you don't get extra shifted stars. You don't get extra ascension materials. You don't get extra intels. You get nothing for it. So really the only strive to be competitive in Aether Gazer is for the people that want to be competitive. That's really just it. That's really it. Like, there's no definitive reason that you have to be competitive in this game. It's just for flex. That's it. So if they there's been a lot of discussion about whether or not this event will be competitive, as in they will maybe keep the leaderboard, and maybe if that is the case, then of course that does mean you have to try a little bit better. But over and all, I just don't understand. I don't understand why we don't get extra materials from certain things, like, because it would drive a point to be competitive. I mean, maybe it's for the people that, you know, don't like competition. I know a lot of people on CN, when I told them about this, that they just don't like the fact that we have to be competitive in a game that pretty much springs it on you just suddenly out of nowhere. Which of course can kind of break the balance. It can break the interest for a lot of people. So to me, I might want to see something a little bit more competitive, because it wouldn't be nice to use my more higher invested units into, you know, content where I really want to strive to show my strength. But again, not everybody's gonna have the same mindset as me. I'm a naturally competitive person, so that's really just, that's why I like playing games with competition in them. So yeah, so I mean, for me, if I see a leaderboard and there's actual awards, I'd be happy, because that means I have to try. But if otherwise, not really sure. But if otherwise, it's just gonna be another event where we just do stuff, and yeah. Anyway, so this is gonna be the specimen analysis station. This is basically gonna be just a farming event, just the farming where you get a lot of resources. So variation data blocks, get materials, buy whatever it is in the shop. Usually these are really good ways to stock up on some really limited resources, like for example reconstructors, which I need a lot more of now, considering that I've just spent a lot of them 40%ing my units, so I can actually start sigil upgrading some of my main units. So really it was just my DPSs really. But anyway, it's going to be character trials for both Athena and Heimdall. As you already know, they're going to be new, so there's that. But they are confirming here that Athena will be available in the precise rate up. So this means you can pull Athena at any given time, just off banner. So if you do pull, if you do happen to pull on this banner and you're like, I didn't get Athena, maybe later on when you pull for someone else, like for example Thor, who's going to be coming after, you can still potentially pick up an Athena. So that's good, she's included. So anyway, Tyr is going to be the next rate up for the standard banner. I don't think no one's going to pull for Tyr. He's kind of bad. Anyway, so let's talk about this. Next up is going to be the costumes, which I think are a little bit down here. It's going to be the costumes for both Tyr and Athena. Here are the costumes right here. This is Athena's costume. This is Tyr's costume. Athena's costume is actually a free costume. I was told that this is actually a free costume. So this is actually pretty good. All you have to do is just simply farm it in the event and you can get the costume. So if you do pull Athena, you get a costume with her. That's really good. I do like the costume. It makes it a little bit more of a fierce knight, so to speak. But other than that, but here's Tyr, my boy Tyr, dripped out in a nice outfit. I do love that they really do stick with his overall aesthetic of playstyle with the knight pieces. You know what I mean? Like there's the knight over there, the rook. You know what I mean? Like I do like that they do that. I do like that they really stick with his playstyle in the art for the costume. If I was a dedicated tier main, would probably buy this costume just simply because it's a tier. I'm a tier main, but I'm not. I'm not a tier main. I don't use tier at all. I have him just at base S, and he was a part of my starting account team. So maybe I have a like a bit of a soft spot for him. But in terms of would I actually go further for like SS or SSS for tier? Nah, I wouldn't. But now I want to jump back to the limited login that we were going to be getting. Now, if you guys remember the beginning of the video, I did say I was going to jump back to this because I wanted to kind of wait to talk about the costumes. I didn't want to overskim. But this is what we're going to be getting for the login. We're going to be getting 6 large coolants. We're going to be getting 60 of the new essential material and 2010 of the new materials that we need for the new sigil things, which is going to be good. That's very good. And it's just a really nice way to just get more resources. So, going to be that. Next up is going to be the packs. I'm glad they're actually doing a 14-day precise pack for Athena. I do love 14-day precise packs because that's basically about a multi and a half over the course of 2 weeks. So I do love that. I do love about a multi and a half in 2 weeks, especially when I'm already like a pass buyer. So gonna be fine for that. We're definitely gonna be eating pretty good with that, as they say. Next up is the cooperating contract. The cooperating contract. You don't say. Anyway, this is basically going to be the battle pass of the month. Don't have to worry about anything. Just if you get it, you get it. Of course, it's automatic. And you just have to do your pass for the month. So good luck to everyone who's going to do your pass. Very simple. Next up is going to be the introduction of the characters. So Athena, Heimdall. And then here is the new sets here. The new sets is Ambush of the Owl. My bad. And it increases melee type damage. When you hit an enemy with a basic attack, increases skill damage. When hitting an enemy with a skill damage, then it increases normal damage. This is obviously going to be great for Athena. I mean, you can kind of obviously tell that that's meant for her because she is a character who actually does boost team basic damage in her kit. So she definitely wants boost to her normal damage. So maybe I might, if I do pull for Athena, I might try. I don't know. But the Creator of the Waves, this is going to be the one that's going to introduce with the Oceanus kit. This is going to be, you get 1 trace when a skill hits. When hitting an enemy with a normal attack, increases attack. When hitting an enemy with certain seconds of expending traces, increases crit damage. So pretty good. That's a pretty good set. And of course, it does tie in very well to his kit as well. So obviously, it's going to really recommend it for him. But I think another character that can really make use of this is probably Osiris, I think Osiris might like this. She might actually like this as well because she is a character that really does blow through her traces fairly fast. So maybe, and she does like getting a lot of traces too. So she can use her better skills. So maybe she could potentially be a character that wants to use the Creator of the Waves. I have to see if that is something she does transition into. But yeah. Anyway. We have our new functors for Athena Heimdall, very simple. We have our AI chips for Athena, good. I don't know if they debuted with her on CN, not sure. But the warp system is on the way, as we already talked about. We are going to scroll down to it really quick. Because JP does provide more details about it. So this is going to be it right here. Of course, the new type of things you can get 2 extra sigils per type, which is pretty good. But we do get confirmation that something is coming. That is going to be the Forge system, which is known as the Sigil Swap system. Now, a lot of people was hoping that we would get this because this is an introductory of a new system that allows you to, I'm going to go to JP to show it off better, but this is the introduction of a system that basically allows you to take a pre-existing sigil and change it into whatever sigil you want, and that new sigil that you transform it to keeps everything from the pre-existing sigil. So for example, if you have a Philosopher's Fantasies on a Hell, right, and you're like, okay, well, a new set just dropped for Hell that I do think that's really better for her, so now you're gonna have to drop your Philosopher Fantasies. Here's the problem: you already put your 40% investment into her, so you're like, now I gotta waste more inventory for her or more resources for her. You don't. You just have to simply switch it over. You have to farm the materials, switch it over, and that's amazing because it keeps over everything. It keeps the level, it keeps the enchants, it keeps the sigil placement, it keeps the little extra passives that will come from level 50 and 60. It keeps everything, and that is the best part about it. It even keeps the lock for the character, so that 40% boost that you put on that set can now go to that character, which is amazing. I do think that's really, really good. That's a great saver on resources as well, so really good. It's really good, especially if you like build for a character and you may not use that character that much anymore. Like for example, if I'm like, man, I don't like using Scotty anymore, which is not true. I love using Scotty, but if I'm like, I don't like using Scotty right now, I have another unit that I like using more than Scotty. I could just take Scotty's pieces, change them into someone else, and then be all gooch. That's pretty amazing. Like, all things considered, that's pretty amazing. Anyway, Hazard Zone Clean is going to introduce its hard mode, which we already know. It's going to come down. It's going to be right here. So we already know. We already talked about this. And then we have the Spirit Capture, which is essentially just going to be this right here, the farm for the essential materials. That's really just what that is. And then a study program. This seems to be some new type of event that will give you extra shifted stars based on certain certain things you've completed in game. So I assume this is going to be something that is just permanent, and you just get it done and you just get extra resources. So I mean, if it's extra resources, it's extra resources. I have no complaints here, but that's basically just going to be that. So that is going to be everything that is going to be in the maintenance notes. As you can see here, everything is pretty much concluding to be the same, and of course it does give you these little things here. We also let me see, we're also going to be getting another dark zone beacon here for hazard zones. That's cool. But anyway, that's going to be it for this video, guys. Let me know what you guys thought about the maintenance update. Are you guys excited to see what's coming in the game soon? And I'll see you guys next time. Peace.